So there's a challenge been going around where you draw on the opposite of your art style, and I thought, wow, that sounds awful, sign me up. So I made a list of things that I was going to try to go against. Things really simple like, oh, you do line art, so don't do line art. And then more specific to my style, like, oh, you don't get to draw little chunks of hair, big eyes, thin necks, you just, I don't know. So a lot of this was just me experimenting and going back to some of my old habits and then having to force myself to change them. I'm doing a subject, pose, and colors that I would usually never do. For example, this is kind of an elderly lady with very circular body shapes, noodly arms, really thick face. And let me tell you, this entire time drawing it, I was so wildly uncomfortable. I really didn't like the colors, I didn't like the eyes or the nose or the shapes, but while it was really weird, I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of fun just to see how far I could push myself, to see what kind of godforsaken abomination I could create. Doing it without line art was actually pretty difficult. If you look closely at it, you can see it's pretty sloppy easily. And that's the exact opposite of my art style, but then I thought, wait, I can do you one better. I can do it in my own style and see how different they are and compare them. What was a little weird about it is that in the first place, like the subject that I drew in the first picture wasn't something I'd usually draw, and so drawing it in my own style, again, was kind of weird. My favorite way of coloring is having the base color, shading with pen in a slightly darker color than the original base color, and then blending it with the watercolor tool and Fire Alpaca. I really, really love Fire Alpaca. It's free, it's good, 10 out of 10 recommend, it's really good. I missed adding overlay to that first drawing. It felt wrong to like not finish it by doing blue overlay at the bottom and a yellow overlay at the top, which is what I usually do. I really didn't like this drawing in either style, but it was quite the experience. So those are the two opposites, and then I got this video all done, all recorded, all edited, but then I thought, wait, what if I did the same thing but in the opposite order, where I start with my own style just to see how much it would how different it would be. This is me sketching out ideas. I usually, when I do speed paints, I start when I already have a sketch created, because when I'm sketching for myself, I'm not doing it for the sake of a speed paint, I'm just doing it for the sake of drawing. So this is when I got an idea that I liked. I wanted to really use everything that I wasn't able to do in the original, like using my favorite colors, do big floofy hair, a very kind of anime cartoony-esque thing, and I love mermaids, so I had to make it a mermaid, of course. I tried to do like an Azure style for the eyelashes. It didn't turn out well though, but maybe in the future I'll try it again and it'll go better, who knows. I would say sketching and coloring are my favorite parts of drawing, and I really hate my line art. I was just so happy to actually draw something that I wanted to draw. It was a nice change. You can see that I'm adding overlay to all the colored bits before I do the general overlay, and then after that overlay, I do another overlay. I wish you could see the layers panel of my window because it's ridiculous. I usually have like 20 layers of just overlays. I have my screen situated where I have the main drawing window, and then I have the navigator out to the left, and then in that bottom left corner I have like YouTube or Netflix open or something, so that's why you can never see my layers. I use Gaussian frick, whatever. I use that to make it look glowy. I duplicate the layer, make it blurry, overlay. So yeah, that's that. And next is the opposite of my style that I wanted to do. Frick, it's like, it's really late. No thoughts, head smooth. Other than this sketch, this one really isn't that interesting to watch. It's very bland. I don't know why this art challenge didn't exist before, because I think it's really cool. It's really fun. It's a good challenge just to kind of push yourself to see what you can do. My favorite of all of them was Andy's. So they make such good art, and their commissions are open, by the way, and you should commission him because he's really, really good. And his style, like me, he uses a lot of glowy overlay, and seeing the opposite is just like, it's not that it's a bad drawing, but it's just so jarring to look at because it's just so different. So anyway, I know that nobody really watches these speed paints, and I don't want to like take myself too seriously or anything, but thank you for watching if you did. I'm really, really busy currently. I'm starting school. I got a lot of work. I'm working all the time. I am working on a new critical role animatic. Those are my favorite things to produce, but they also take the most work. So just stick with me. So anyway, that's that. Yep, bye.
I don't deserve you. You should be with a real girl.
Who are you? I am from ancient Greece.